Well, thanks for keeping me company, and nearly killing me, but I gotta get home. See you around, Rick.
Come back anytime, man.
What the? Rick?
Huh, that's weird. Wait, how long have you been here again?
2 days. Why?
Oh, yeah, sorry. To be able to leave the game loft, you have to be out the door after 1 day, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds.
What type of arbitrary bull hockey is that? Well, looks like we're gonna be hanging here for a while till the curse wears off. Anything we could do to pass the time?
I don't know, we could play pinball.
Sure, nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with it. Pinball and Sonic go hand in hand. It's one of his most popular gimmicks, right next to the infamous momentum. Yeah, I said it. He's had whole stages and zones based around pinball, so eventually the idea would surface. What if we made a Sonic game centered around pinball? After the crazy success of Sonic 2, Sega wanted to get to work right away on the sequel. But because games take time to make when you want them to be good, I know, crazy, sometimes you need to delay them. Sega wanted Sonic 3 to be out by the holiday season, but Sonic Team simply wasn't able to meet that impossible deadline. This is when the Sega Technical Institute, an American Sega branch, was split from Sonic 3's production to slap something out for kids to open on Christmas morning. With the help of Poly Games, a company I've never heard of, riveting, STI began working on bringing a gimmick to life. Yeah, they sure did something alright. This is Sonic Spinball, where gimmicks come to life.
Disney World!
The story of Sonic Spinball is very simple. Robotnik builds a pinball fortress to conquer the world. Go get him. But hold on, maybe there are some settings to change. So let's head into the options and... My tumor has become malignant. Starting the game and... I just want to say, Sonic Spinball's OST, low-key underrated. Spare the options menu, of course, there are some hidden gems here. Toxic Cave, Lava Powerhouse, The Machine, all got a catchy beat to them. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't stand out too much compared to other Genesis classics. But that doesn't mean it's any less of a bop. As a drummer myself, this beat is something I cannot deny. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get going. Oh no. You saw that right, ladies and gents. Sonic T. Maurice Hedgehog is slow. He doesn't gain speed as he goes, his spin dash has insane lag, and his jump has this startup animation that can get real close to causing your death. Most people would probably hate this decision. And most people haven't played Sonic Spinball. If you look at early test footage, while he still has a jump startup, he bounces and flies around in a much more similar style to the mainline games, but it's a bit hard to follow, and I could easily see people getting a headache from flying this way and that way and that way. The final speed they decided on would be horrendous if this was a mainline game, but it's not. It's Sonic Spinball. But that's enough about speed. Or maybe we should talk about speed, because Sonic looks like he had a decent help, and go to therapy, dude. I'm sure you've all booted up this game, or maybe not, and were immediately questioning Cyclops the Hedgehog's appearance. First time I saw it as a kid, I was weirded out. But not in a bad way. You know how when you were a kid and you have an unpleasant experience, the result of which carries over into adulthood? Applesauce is evil! That's how I was about Spinball Sonic's design, except the opposite. I have a weird affection for this style. I like his lanky, jagged quills, his stretched elf shoes. It's just so weird, and I think that's why I like it. Oddly enough, I found this random tweet while writing the script for this video, with nice looking art titled, Weird Goblin Sonic. Yeah, I guess part of the reason I've always been fascinated by this game is that Sonic looks like this in an official product. How did this physically manage to get released?
Because America.
Not really much else to say about that, honestly. The west side of Sonic media has been doing their own thing up until the past few years. If you look further past Sonic's general design in this game, you'll see American influence all over. While the mainline titles with Japanese influence were much more bubbly and colorful, everything in Spinball is dark and gritty. Looks much more at home in a world like Sad AM. Well, speak of the devil! Yeah, if you didn't know the game was American born and raised, here's your giveaway. You got Mohawk Sonic playing pinball, and even the Freedom Fighters burst out from time to time. In their only game appearance ever. Never be heard from again, never seeing the light of day, feeling the warmth of the sun, telling their families, I love you, just one last time. Cool! Wait, I just realized, if Sonic's the one playing pinball, then who's in the machine? We're probably fine. The game looks great in an old American 90s kind of way, but in the end, that won't matter if the game isn't fun to play.
Really?
So earlier I mentioned Sonic being slower is a good thing for this game since it's easier to follow. Normally with pinball, part of the challenge is following the ball as it flies wildly around the course. But with normal pinball, you can obviously see the whole machine, meaning it's a fair test of your reaction speed. In Sonic Spinball, you are locked on Sonic the entire time. While controlling the paddles, you're also controlling Sonic. This means the game needs to be zoomed in so you can see what you're doing. But that's only when you have to do anything. Besides the few times you're running or paddling to the next section, 90% of the game revolves around you being curled up, you know, in a spinball. Let me put this in perspective for you. Here's a pinball machine. Looks cool, right? How about now? Part of the challenge and fun of pinball is planning what you're trying to hit. You can see the whole board and have a goal in mind. Where am I? You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you are. You don't know the goal. You don't know the path to the goal. The game tells you nothing. And now on top of that, your vision of the pinball course is extremely limited. How are you supposed to plan ahead and aim where you need to when you can't see the target? That's the neat part. You freaking don't! Despite being a pinball game, it desperately wants you to consider it a platformer. The jump, spin dash, minecarts, there's no reason for those to be a part of the gameplay in a pinball game. But that's the catch, it's not pinball, it's spinball, baby! It wants to have its cake and eat it too. Heck, it probably owns the bakery. It won MasterChef, it beat Bobby Flay, it sabotaged the Game Awards. Look, I don't hate this game. I actually kinda like it even though I never played past the first level, if I even managed to beat the first level in the first place. Spinball is in a weird love-hate position that I don't fully understand, but I don't really care. I'm gonna enjoy this game for my own stupid reasons, and I value the ideas STI threw out there. That being said, I'm glad they left this whole idea behind. Between the camera, level design, control, and some music, I think it's for the best. So, that begs the question, should pinball disappear from Sonic? Well, I may be autistic, but I'm not stupid.
Nokai.exe is not responsible for verbal conduct, nor will it accept blame for offense taken by words from public representatives during verbal conduct. Direct blame at YouTube for allowing babies like you on the platform.
Pinball is a part of Sonic. It's a staple of the franchise. Heck, we just had a new release with yet another zone dedicated to the gimmick. But that's just it. It's just one zone. Just a small slice of the game as a whole. Pinball should be a feature, not a focus. Clearly as a main focus, most of the fun was lost. But you make it a side gimmick, and the doors for entire zones can be opened. While I'm not one to defend Sonic Adventure's flaws, I think this is something it did right. Sure, it can get kind of annoying to be forced to play pinball, especially when you don't like the concept as a whole, but it doesn't take that long, and many of the issues with Spinball aren't present here. Man, Sonic Frontiers needs a counselor. You can see the whole course, physics aren't changed, and you can retain control of Sonic. This is what it should be. Also, while looking stuff up, I found this short with a real Sonic Spinball machine. My wallet has dissolved. Despite all that, I can't bring myself to hate this game. This was one of the first full attempts at a gimmick Sonic had, and at that, it was probably the best choice. If they'd gotten help from Sonic Team and had some other talented individuals on board, it could have turned into a cult classic. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll get a sequel. Well, that was a fun trip down memory lane. How much longer till I can leave?
About that, the spell doesn't have a time limit. You're stuck here for eternity. So...